So I just got access to Tumblers on my Amazon Merch on Demand account, and I want to share some tips with you to help you make sales and understand the whole process of uploading a design to a Tumblr on Amazon Merch. And I'll be covering everything in this video that you need to know when it comes to Tumblers. All right, so I'm in the back end right here. You're gonna see this is the actual Tumblr. It gives you the information, the product, the dimensions, products, and the downloads. It has little templates over here, Adobe Photoshop, and then it has Adobe Illustrator, and then GIMP. And this example, I'll show you example in the GIMP, and then I'll show you an example like using Canva. Pretty cool, really excited for this because this is a really big opportunity for us to make even more sales on the platform. Every time they release a new product, it's just taking it to that next level. Now, certain tiers are getting access to them. Well, it seems like the higher tiers are getting access to them first, and then it starts to go down into the other accounts. Now, it's always been like this for years, so if you're new to this, just have a little bit of patience. It'll come to you sooner or later. I've been doing this for, 8 years now, 7 years, and it's always happened where there was a point where the higher accounts would get the actual product before I do, and I'm like, come on, man, but it's just the way it works, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, just the way they perform. I'm just really happy that we have an opportunity to sell these type of products. Now, one thing I wanted to address, some people were saying like, how come we didn't get coffee mugs or I wanted coffee mugs before tumblers? And there was a few people said, well, coffee mugs are breakable and tumblers are not as much, like more of a costly overhead type thing. So I can see the difference between why they would choose coffee mugs over tumblers. But that's not saying that coffee mugs are not a bad idea, because if those come out too, I'll be happy as hell to get those too as well, right? Those are really cool, but this is really cool too as well because tumblers make a lot of sales. If you do some research, you'll see that tumblers are really cool and really popular. If you have a Tumblr, you understand that, right? Because you're probably out there buying or collecting or looking for these limited edition tumblers, stuff like that, which is really cool. Now, let's come over here. So I'm going to show you a few things. So this is the actual product. You can click on any of these two to get the template. I'll show you what the GIMP template looks like right there. And we're going to go ahead and show you how to create the design like in an AI format. So you can see exactly how to, what are people buying, or how to create a Tumblr design, right? Someone asked me that question, and it's really simple, really easy. One thing I recommend, if you have any top selling designs on your account right now, you start to get them into that template, that format, and put those images on those products. So this is the back end right here of my Amazon Merch on Demand account. You're gonna see the drag and drop right here, and it says get product templates. It's gonna show you the guidelines, right? You're gonna see that, click that off. Preview, it's gonna show you the actual product. Select colors, there's black, brushed steel, and white. All right, and then obviously the price point right here, $21.99. I actually uploaded one at $21.99, but let me see, let me show you this. It seems like it wants you to keep it around that price because it's giving me some type of error when I put it below 20, right? You see that? Can't calculate accurate royalty, check the list. I'm not sure if you guys are getting this too. If you are, or if you know some way around it, I'm sure I haven't been paying attention to this, but I just when I do it to any other product, except for like sweatshirts and tumblers, it seems to give me this error, but like standard t-shirts, it doesn't give me the error at all. So I just keep it at $21.99 just for the sake of it. And keep in mind too, this is a new product, so they're still messing with stuff, right? Like the design template. So if we come over here, I'm going to show you the example when we upload a design. If you keep it over to let's say you can't duplicate it inside the image. Like I know like on Redbubble, you can duplicate the actual image within inside of the listing of the dashboard here. And you can actually do different patterns, which is really cool, right? But Amazon Merch on Demand doesn't have that yet. Hopefully they do add that because that's what I want that. I do want that. So let's take I have an image that I created and just give you an idea of what it looks like. So I'm going to drag and drop it right over here. And I'm going to show you how I created this image too as well. Pretty simple, pretty easy, pretty cool. So it's generating, you see the actual, you can center horizontally, center vertically, fill, and then you can reset everything. And then this right here, just a little actual productor stuff right here. If you're not unaware, that's a free tool that you can use with Amazon Merch on Demand. But I can scale it down. See, I can move it around. right? Which is cool, but let's scale it all the way up to where it was. I can fill it, boom, see, filled up all the spots. Now with patterns, which is really cool, I'm gonna show you exactly what it looks like. So that's the design. I'm gonna put it out. This design is created with AI too, by the way. So it's created with AI, and then I upscaled it, and then I brought the image over here. So we go to preview. You're gonna see this is exactly what the actual design is gonna look like on the product. So you see that? So this is exactly how that image is gonna look on the product itself. Right now, we're taking up all the design space right here because it's just a pattern, and that's our goal, is just take up all the design space. That's what we want. Now that's what it looks like right there. So that's how it looks like with the design. Now let's go over a few more things as far as creating the actual design itself. So what I did was I literally come over here into ideogram.ai. This is an image creator tool. Actually, this is it's a paid for software, and I know that you can have a few certain amount of free prompts to create AI generated images. But literally, this is what I typed in the prompt: create a Halloween pattern effect for a Tumblr. Something like this. And if you come over here, like, so it has like this image right here, or an image like this, or something like this works really well for like notebooks, any type of coffee mugs or anything like that. It's pretty cool, cute, right? And this one got my attention because you got a jack-o'-lantern and you got a bat in there and got some cool stuff, right? Pretty cool image. And then there's something like this, like, so even patterns like this, right? People love this type of stuff. Now, I'm not sure what they try to put it on a actual Tumblr, but I like this one right here. And what I did was I upscaled it with inside of here, so you can upscale it. You see this little button right here, you can upscale it, which I already did. So you bring it over here, it upscaled the whole image right here, and then you can actually download it into the PNG format. So once you do that, boom, it's ready to upload over here. Or you can, once you do that, you can download it, and then you can, obviously you can even use Canva too. Like if you want to get the certain dimensions, you're gonna see right here how I created that dimension. See up here, it's 3000 pixel by 1400 pixel. Let me go ahead and show you how I did it with inside of here. Kind of just taking you through the whole process. Create a design, and then you go to custom size, and then we come back over here to the actual like dimensions. So as you can see, this is the dimensions right there. So what I did was, you can see it right here, the recent one, it'll be 3000, right, by 1400, and then create design. And this is the template that I bring, huh? So you're gonna see it right there. Now, if you have GIMP or if you have Photoshop, each one's going to have their own actual template. So this is the actual template that you download when you come over here. See this little GIMP right here? You download that, and when I download that, I just open it up over here in GIMP, and then it says Amazon Merch on Demand. You see that? It kind of brings you the idea here. And then it says main image centering guide. So if you want to, so this little square, see these little green squares right here? This is the same concept over here. So let me scale this down. So when I scale that down, see this little green? So this would be like the front and the back of the Tumblr itself, right? This would be like the front and the back of the Tumblr. So if you see like on the preview, right, let me see. So if I have an image here, right? And then one thing too is like a big thing, like I mentioned already, is like you have to actually save it in that format. So you can't just duplicate this image and put it over here. So you have to save it as in that format, so you can upload it over here and bring it over here onto Amazon Merch on Demand for that product. So left and right over here. Now it's easier to create a pattern, right? Like I shared in this video, like I'm sharing with in this video. It's because you can just, a pattern, it's just a pattern, and you just upload it and boom, it's there, right? Which is really, really cool. Now, the same thing here, like I said, like when you open in the format, you can, obviously it tells you all the information here inside of the GIMP, and then you can, I'll come over here and export it and do the same thing that I did within Canva right here. So this image is here. I can actually just download PNG format, transparent background, and download, and then it'll re-download that image that we already up. Now, one thing that was simple. Let me this right here. If you look at this, like certain patterns like this, you can just do a ton of stuff like this with Halloween. Certain patterns, even Thanksgiving, anything like that works. Now, if you have an image that you want to actually come in here and put on each side, you can do that too as well, where you just have like some text on one side and some text on the other. You can do that. But for this example in this video, I'm just showing you like what a pattern would look and how you create a pattern really easy with AI, and then just upload it over there, because patterns, like I said, do really well when it comes to Tumblrs. If you do some research, take a look at different ideas and concepts. This is one way to make sales fast with products like this. Now, what we're looking for is the classification number. Someone asked me like, well, what trademark number am I looking for? It's going to be classification 21. So when you're looking for anything and you're looking, like say you're looking for any type of anything like on TM Hunt. So if you're looking for anything, well, this is for clothing. Not bad. No. So we're looking for 2021 classification, right? Now, let me come over here. Merch Informer is adding that to this right now. So it's not updated just yet, but you'll be able to just click on that Merch Informer. So Merch Informer Tumblers check. You'll be able to check that because this is still new, guys. Keep in mind this is still new. So there's certain programs and stuff like that are still updating as far as Merch Informer or Productor. If you're using any of those tools, it's still updating it and trying to understand the whole process of it, because this is fairly new. I'm just as new to it as you are, as you know what I mean. Me sharing this video with you, it's still new, which is cool. So we're looking for the classification. We're looking for 21. So anything under 21, you would do you do a search. So if there's like a phrase or something, you come over here into the USPTO, and then you do a search for the actual saying or saying, like, if you're putting like a text-based saying on the actual Tumblr, you would come over here and do a search over here on the USPTO for that. But like I said, very important that you understand that. You don't want to get any rejections when you're doing this, because you don't want to, rejections are scary. We all know that. But yeah, now actual live Tumblr on Amazon, you're going to see, look at this. So this is seems like it'd be like a one-sided design. So to give you an idea, if you just put like one design on, let's say like this side, let's say you put like a one-sided design on this side, right? This is actually what it looks like. And these mock-ups are pretty clean. Look at that one's clean. That one, they're coming a long way. I remember when we first used to get one of our first products with the standard t-shirt, like the mock-up was, it's the same exact mock-up now, but it was like the detail, the information, all that stuff wasn't there. It was like very plain. Now they're adding a lot more, about the product and stuff like that. So yeah, look at this one. That mock-up's pretty clean. This one is. That one's pretty clean too. But give you an idea of what Amazon Merch on Demand Tumblr listing mock-up looks like for the Tumblers, right? Pretty cool. And here's an example too. If we come over here, jack-o'-lantern, we're looking for the class here. See this class number? See this class? We're looking for 021 for Tumblers, right? So the 021. You come over here, look at the search. So they're doing just a basic search over here for certain words, which is when you're building out your listing, right? You want to make sure that you're not doing anything that's, against the rules, and that's you're not trademark. So you're looking at all this stuff to make sure that it is the number, and then obviously the goods and service, right? You're looking at that. So drinkware, and then Tumbler, or if there even is a Tumbler. Still got to do some more uploading, but mostly look at dead live. We're looking for the live one. The status has to be live. That's what we're looking for, and it looks like we might be in the clear. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, looks like we might be good. All right, so that's what we're looking for, and go ahead and finish out the rest of this listing. So after I got a few designs up for the Tumblers, I wanted to point out a few things. I used I did a front and back design over here inside of GIMP. You can see, so you can see how they have the actual layout, but I went ahead and did a front and back design. I just want to see how it came out. And keep in mind, you're keeping it within the borders, right? They give you this, and you can expand it inside of the upload when you're doing the upload process. One thing that I had, what we're going to point out too, was like you can barely see the design when you upload it because of it's a transparent background, and if you're putting it up on you're going to have to use the mock-up to take a look at it. We'll go over that right now, but let's there's a few things I want to point out when I'm looking at this wrap right here. Look at this right here. So there's two. So first things first. So you're looking at this right here. When I'm looking at this, look at the wrap. It doesn't go off. That bothers me right there, right? Well, I don't know why, but it does. So hopefully they fix that part, because it should go all the way around. That should be enclosed right there, right? And then the next thing is when I put the black, or we're looking at this pattern, right? We have this pattern. This is live actual live mock-up on Amazon. You see that extra black the top right there? How come they couldn't put it all the way to the edge for this mock-up? Now they may do that, when let's say if I make a sample order just to test it out, they may actually do that. But on the mock-up, it's showing a little black space right there, which kind of bothers me, kind of throws me off a little bit. And then same thing here, look at that bothers me. Now if we come over here, now this look like, if you come over here, look at the GIMP. So that actual design, I uploaded it, right? You're going to see right here, as I upload this, look at the actual design. So that looks pretty clean. Like this is really cool. So when you're putting up just a design, it looks really clean. Look at that. So as far as the actual design, like this way, it looks pretty clean. I like it a lot. Now when actually uploading like the ghost Tumblr, so you have 3 different colors right here. I'm not gonna check that white, but not even the silver, just the black. Keep it only on the black. Now you're looking at the actual, let's look at the preview. So when we look at the preview, you see how small it is, right? But you're gonna have to go back and forth because we're looking at this. You can barely even see the actual image itself. I'm looking at the little shading right there. I'm using that as a reference. Now my thing is like what I put that to, so you can scale it all the way up right here by leveraging that. Now I'll be going back and forth to make sure that it's within the actual square itself, which it does look like, right? So I just want to make sure that I'm inside of this and I'm looking at this little shading right here. Now would I put a black background with this? I'm not sure I would, because I don't want the actual black image to show in the background, but something that I would have to test out. But as far as now, looking at it real closely, you can see like the outline of the actual design. I'm looking at this bottom part right there, that little shading. So let me actually pop open that design so we can see. Let me see. So it loads up. So that's the actual design. So we're looking at this right here, but you can see how I have that image. It's there. And then we come over here and look at the preview. You're going to be able to see it and twist it all the way around. So it gives you an idea of what it looks like on the cap on the skeleton and the ghost. We're good. Everything's good. So we do a 360 view of it. You can see it there. So that's the only concern is like you can't change the background. If I wanted to change it to like black, that would be really nice. Just little things like this I'm trying to point out to help you and give you an insight, like trying to make it better, make it easy as possible when uploading this. But certain things like that, you're gonna just have to find like a little point, like maybe, I used the shadow right here, and then you would have to go back and forth to the preview to make sure the design is uploaded correctly. But once you have that down, everything's good. You can see that like on the black, it looks clean. I like it a lot, right? That design. Only thing that wrap, when we're doing the patterns, when we look at this pattern right here, right? It's not so good. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And to give you an idea how I did the title and the brand, how I did it. But that part right there, just it bugs me. When you go over to the silver, right, it's a little bit easier. That little top part right there, it's not there. And then just that little gap right there on the wrap. Pretty sure maybe when you order it and it's printed, it doesn't show that gap. I'm hoping. But that doesn't look good on the mock-up right there for sure to me. Hopefully that helps, gives you some insight. It's still a new product and they're working on it. I'm excited to actually have a new product, which is really cool for us to, make more sales. If you want to come up with unlimited AI designs, watch this video right here next. Thank you very much for watching. Peace out.